Hi, so this is a quick demo of using System Center Orchestrator and just the standard activities to create some runbooks. Originally I was going to go for creating a runbook that would help the service desk with moving software into the Definitive Media Library and linking into the Microsoft Deployment Toolkit to actually automate the process and the structuring of it in the deployment share. However, I ran into a slight problem trying to get the 32-bit PowerShell commandlets working under the 64-bit operating system that Orchestrator needs. Had they have worked, we would have just been calling the snap in and passing the data off of the data bus and using the commandlet to move that application into the Microsoft Deployment Toolkit deployment share. Because we can't use that method at the minute, I've done a slightly more simplified version of it. Basically what this runbook will help do is if you've got a business user that's the primary application owner, they might have that relationship with the suppliers, and the supplier might send them an update. So they'd ring the service desk and say, right, I've got this update, please can you arrange for IT to get it installed. Service desk would be responsible for gathering them files and passing the information on to the third line support. Now, we've had it before where certain service desk personnel won't follow procedures to the letter, and the DML can become slightly unstructured, whereas I prefer to see everything organised in a strict defined manner. What this runbook will do is help actually automate that process to ensure that the DML is structured correctly. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for the case of monitoring a folder. So the service desk will be told to put any software that does come through that's needed into a pre-stage directory. It will then monitor that folder and all its subfolders for a text file where the service desk has been told once they've got all the files gathered has to be called SR for service request and the actual service request identifier number. When it finds one of them, it'll gather some details from that file. It'll then read the contents of that file. I'll show you that file in a second. We'll then use a quick PowerShell script to just split that details from that text file down. We're then going to create the folder structure in the actual DML itself, move the files from the pre-stage directory into the DML. Just going to update that file really quickly so we've got some details about when it was moved, rename it, and then delete the stuff out of the out of the pre-stage directory. We're also, I've got it disabled at the minute because I've not got Exchange integration in the test lab, but we'd then just send an email to the third line support engineers that will likely be responsible for installing this update on the system, just so they know that the software is there and ready. So for the files that we're going to be using, I've created a just an example. It's only a bitmap picture, but imagine that is actually the Silverlight executables, and we've also got the details file. So the service desk would actually be provided with a template, so we'd go for something like manufacturer, application, and version. So if you supply the service desk with a template file like that, they can't go far wrong knowing that they have to type manufacturer, the application, and the version. That's all the information we need. So if I don't save that for now. They would take that template and the files for the software and then place them into a new folder in the pre-stage directory. So this is where they don't have to worry too much about naming conventions. What we'll do is we'll just check this in and start it running. Always helps. So that runbook now is monitoring this pre-stage directory and all of its subfolders for a file called SR, number of the incident, whatever you want it to be. When it finds one of them files, it will immediately read it, get the details of the file, read the contents of it, split the data down onto the data bus, create the folder structure in the new place, which is the DML, move the files as you've just seen it's done. So now the pre-stage directory is empty, but in the deployment share, obviously I'm running these locally in the test environment, these can be any network folder you need. We now have a nicely organised folder with the manufacturer, application and version. we now have this updated text file that they were using. So we've renamed it, and we've added some information about when the move was completed. So if we just try that again. So we'll pretend this is now Adobe Flash Player. What version is Flash on nowadays? It seems to change every single week, so we'll just go with that for now. So we'll take them into the pre-stage. Probably should have renamed that Adobe. Never mind. You can see it'll just keep on replicating that same folder structure based on manufacturer, application and version.